We love barbecue in the American South, and so do our friends in South Africa. I'm going to show you how to make a chicken kebab. It's called a sosatie, which is a vital part of any South African braai. That's B-R-A-A-I. That's what they call their barbecue. Sosaties are usually made with lamb, but nowadays they're made with all kinds of different meats. We're going to make a chicken kebab South African style for dinner tonight. South African kebabs made with chicken are also interesting because there's always a sweet element that's in those kebabs. And today we're going to use apricots for our sweet element. We're going to start though with our chicken. So in this bowl, I'm going to put our chicken marinade ingredients. I'm starting off with a little bit of coriander. I also have some turmeric, which is going to give our chicken a beautiful color. I've got some salt. Oops, come on. I've got some cinnamon. And I've got some black pepper. And then the last ingredient I have here is some coconut sugar. You can use brown sugar, but because South Africa has so many influences from all the different people that have been in South Africa, I kind of like the coconut sugar. Plus they make great coconuts, or they grow great coconuts in South Africa. So here we go. There's my ingredients. Now this marinade is gonna go on my chicken. So I've already got my chicken in a bag and I'm using chicken thighs. So let me just move these over. I'm using chicken thighs that I've cut in about 1-inch pieces. So here they are, right here. So I'm gonna put in about half of these marinade or rub ingredients into my bag, and I'm also going to massage my chicken and get it really covered well. Okay, I'm going to set my half, and we're going to use that marinade ingredients or rub ingredients later. So now I have my chicken, and I'm just going to massage it well, and I'm going to set it aside for just a moment because I want to show you something else that I'm gonna marinate. And that is the sweet part. Remember I said we have apricots to add a sweet note to the kebabs? Well, what we're gonna do with these apricots is kind of funky, but it's delicious. We love pickles in the American South. They love pickles in South Africa. So what we're gonna do is pickle our apricots along with some red onions. So into the bag, again about 1-inch piece, I've got some of my red onions. Now I've got about a cup or 2 of apricots. And now we've got our pickling ingredients or marinade ingredients. I've got a cup of white wine. Yay. I'm using Chenin Blanc. Chenin Blanc is what the grape was in the Cup Classique that I opened this show with. And Chenin Blanc grows beautifully in South Africa. So there goes my 1 cup of white wine, Chenin Blanc. I've got a little bit of olive oil going right in there. And then you can't have a pickle without vinegar. So I've got some apple cider vinegar. It's going right in the bag as well. So those are my ingredients right here. Aren't they pretty? The pink red onions and the orange apricots. Now, I've got 2 things here that can go right into the refrigerator. I'm gonna put these in the refrigerator for about 4 hours up to overnight. So that means this recipe is super easy to make the day before and then just assemble. Let me get them in the fridge. thought ahead though, and I made some last night so that we can go ahead and finish up the recipe. First of all, take a look at this chicken. Isn't it a beautiful color from that turmeric and all those spices? And then this is the red onions and apricots, and they've pickled so nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and take those red onions and apricots and put them in a colander. Ooh, they smell so good. Okay, because I wanna keep that marinade liquid. And just like half of the rub or marinade for the chicken, we're gonna use this marinade liquid later. So here we go, and I wanna show you how to make this kebab. And to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and put on some plastic gloves. Now, if you don't have plastic gloves when you're working with your chicken at home, just wash your hands really well. But I will tell you, this chicken had turmeric on it, so it might stain your hands just a little bit. You're gonna have to get a scrubber to get that off your hands. Okay, here we go. And then the other thing I wanna show you is I'm using a bamboo skewer. Whether you do this like I'm gonna do it in a cast iron skillet or on the grill outside, you probably want to take your bamboo skewers and soak them for about 30 minutes. That way they won't burn, especially if you put them on the grill. So I've got a skewer here, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my chicken. So if I can get that bag open, here we go. There we go. So here's my chicken. This is about 4 to 6 chicken thighs. I like chicken thighs because they're very forgiving, and I've cut them in about 1-inch pieces. So here we go. So there goes my chicken thigh first onto the skewer. Next up, I'm gonna put some red onion. So here goes my red onion, and I can't tell you how good the onions and the apricots smell after they've been pickled overnight. Then I'm gonna put on an apricot, and then I'm just gonna repeat. So here we go, chicken thigh, red onion, and I like onions, so I'm probably gonna put 2 or 3 pieces of onion on here. There we go, and then an apricot. I'm gonna repeat one more time. How many times you repeat depends on how much or how long your skewers are. So depending on how many chicken thighs you have will also depend on how many skewers you end up with. So 4 chicken thighs will get you about 8 skewers. So there we go, come on. You know, if you talk to your food, it behaves better. Here we go. So there is my chicken kebab, my Sosaties, and it's going to join these chicken kebabs that I made a little bit earlier. So here we go. Now I'm gonna take off my gloves because I'm finished using my hands for the raw chicken right now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these over. I've got a cast iron skillet heating behind me, and I'm gonna brown these chicken kebabs. So here we go. And my pan is getting hot. And I'm just gonna put my chicken kebabs on. And that's the sound you want, right there. And I'm gonna cook these over about medium heat until they're browned. I'm gonna flip them over, then I'm gonna take the whole pan and put the whole cast iron skillet right into the 350-degree oven I've already got preheating there. It's gonna be about 15 minutes, and then they're gonna be 165, which is the internal temperature for chicken when it's done, and they are gonna be delicious. So let me show you what they look like when they're done. I'm gonna set my plastic cutting board aside. And here we go. Here's what they look like. Aren't they just gorgeous? I've got a platter already started over here. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is take my chicken thighs, my chicken kebabs, and put them out right on my platter. And wouldn't it be nice if we had some barbecue sauce to go along with our chicken kebabs? Of course it would, and we do have it. So remember the half of the marinade for the chicken, the rub for the chicken? And remember the liquid from pickling the onions and the apricots? I'm gonna put both of these in a pan and let it reduce down for about 20 minutes. Then last but not least, I'm gonna put in just a little bit of peach jam to make it a little sweet, and then I'm gonna have the most gorgeous barbecue sauce to go along with my chicken Sosaties. That's the way that you can make your barbecue a South African barbecue, even if we're in the American South. I hope you try this recipe. It's so good and so much fun.